Wow, what a frightening incident, right? This video demonstrates that insufficient safety precautions were taken when handling dangerous goods.
As HSSE officers, we will therefore provide advice on the handling and transportation of dangerous goods. I am Muhammad Aziz Muhammad Kadil as Senior Safety Officer.
And I am Muhammad Adam Iskandar bin Hilaluddin as a safety instructor.
Okay, now, do you know routine workflow in dangerous good handling and transportation in freight transport operation is important to reduce hazards? So, what is the first step? First step is classification. In these steps, dangerous goods are classified into different categories based on their hazard potential, such as explosive, flammable liquids, toxic substances, and radioactive materials. This classification helps determine the appropriate handling, packaging, and transportation methods. Next step is packaging. Proper packaging is crucial to ensure the safety of dangerous goods during transport. Packaging materials and container must meet specific standards and be tested for their ability to withstand various stress such as impact, pressure, and temperature changes. Next step is labeling and documentation. Each package containing dangerous goods must be clearly labeled with the appropriate hazard symbol and information such as the United Nations number, proper shipping name, and hazard class. Additionally, accurate documentation including a dangerous good declaration must accompany the shipment. Next step is loading and separations. When loading dangerous goods onto a vehicle, it's essential to follow specific guidelines to prevent accidents. This includes separate incompatible substances, securing the load to prevent movement during transports, and ensuring that the vehicle is suitable for carrying the specific type of dangerous goods. So what is the next step? The next step is transportations. The goods are transported according to the chosen mode of transport, whether road, rail, air, and sea. They must follow specific roads and stick to speed limits, race periods, and other safety regulations. The next important step is emergency response. It is because in case of an accident or incident involving dangerous goods, a well-defined emergency response plan must be in place. This includes having trained personnel, appropriate equipment such as fire extinguishers and spill containment kits, and clear communication channels to manage the situation effectively. And the last step is unloading and storage. Upon arrival at the destinations, dangerous goods must be carefully unloaded and stored in designated areas that meet specific safety requirements such as ventilation, fire protection, and spill containment. Next, do you know what is the importance of maintaining safe workplace in dangerous good handling and transportations? Let me explain about this. Firstly, it will be protecting human life. As you know, handling and transportation dangerous goods can expose workers to various hazards including chemical exposures, fire, explosions, and physical injuries. By maintaining a safe workplace, the risk of accidents and injuries can be minimized, ensuring the well-being and safety of the personnel involved. This includes providing appropriate personal protective equipment (PPE), implementing safety protocols, and providing comprehensive training to reduce risk. Next is minimizing environmental impact. Improper handling or transportation of dangerous goods can have severe environmental consequences, including pollution of air, water, and soil. By maintaining a safe workplace and following proper procedures, the risk of spills, leaks, and other accidents that could harm the environment is minimized. That contributes to environmental protection and sustainability. And the last one is cost savings. It is because accidents involving dangerous goods can result in significant financial loss due to property damage, clean-up costs, and potential legal liabilities. By maintaining a safe workplace, companies can minimize this risk and protect their bottom line.
Now, I will explain about what are the effects of workers did not practice work-safe practices when handling dangerous goods. There are three effects, which is personal injuries, health hazards, and environmental damage. Firstly, personal injuries. Depending on the nature of the hazardous material and the duties being performed, the specific varieties of injury can vary. There are three examples. The first one is chemical burns. Accidental spillage or improper handling of corrosive chemicals such as acid or alkalis can result in severe chemical burns to the skin. Next is inhalation hazards. The inhalation of toxic fumes, particulates emitted by certain hazardous materials can pose significant health risks. Lastly, cuts and laceration. Cuts, laceration can result from improper use of pointed object or instrument when working with hazardous material. The second effect is health hazards. Improper handling of dangerous goods can result in significant health risks for workers, such as organ damage. Exposure to certain hazardous materials such as heavy metals can lead to organ damage over time. Next is chemical poisoning. A significant exposure to toxic substance can result in chemical poisoning, can cause a variety of symptoms. Lastly, chronic illnesses. For instance, consistently exposed to asbestos fibers without adequate protection can result in diseases such as mesothelioma and lung cancer. The third effect is environmental damage. Improper handling of dangerous goods can have severe consequences for the environment. For example, soil contamination. If a worker mishandles or throws away pesticides or industrial chemicals in the wrong way, they can leak into the ground and pollute the soil. Next, water pollutions. An oil or chemical spill from nearby industrial facility into a nearby river can have immediate and long-term consequences, harming fish and fauna and influencing the livelihoods of communities dependent on river water resources. Lastly, air pollution. When released into the air, certain hazardous substances can contribute to air pollution. All three of these effects can be observed in one of the 2018 explosion incidents that occurred in Pasir Kudang, Johor, Malaysia. Lastly, I will explain the do's and don'ts of safety procedure when handling dangerous goods. The do's. First, follow handling procedures that has been set by DOSH. Adhere strictly to handling procedures approved for the specific type of hazardous material in your custody. Ensure you understand and implement the correct technique for container labeling, packaging, and securing. Second, wear adequate personal protective equipment. Always prioritize your safety by wearing the required PPE. Gloves, goggles, face shield, safety shoes, and other protection gear designed for the hazards of the material being handled are all necessary. Third, carry out the safe methods of storage. Protect yourself and others by truly adhering to storage guidelines for dangerous substance. This involves the use of designated area or container that meet safety requirements. Fourth, keep up with routine checks and maintenance. Maintain a secure workplace by conducting routine inspection and addressing any identified hazards or defects immediately. Next is the don'ts. Firstly, safety data sheets (SDS) should not be neglected. Avoid ignoring SDS supplied by manufacturers or suppliers of hazardous material. Secondly, incompatible materials shouldn't be combined. Violent reactions, fires, and explosions can occur. Thirdly, workers without the necessary training should not be working. Avoid handling hazardous material without the proper training and credentials. In conclusion, it is critical to follow safety precautions while working with dangerous goods. This ensures the health of employees, reduce the risk of accidents and injuries, and safeguards the environment.